Imagine buying land, getting all the required documents, even a C of O, only to hear years later that the government wants your land back. Can that happen? And what if it does? What are your rights? Welcome to another episode of Real Estate IQ, where we get to answer real estate frequently asked questions people are either too scared or too confused to ask. I'm your host, Sharon Ibinabo, and today we are discussing legal and regulatory issues. Let's get into it. The first question I have on my list today is, the answer to this question is yes. Yes, the government can revoke your land, but under specific legal circumstances. So a certificate of occupancy gives you the legal right to occupy a particular piece of land, but it does not mean that the government cannot reclaim it. It doesn't mean that. Under the Land Use Act, the government can revoke a land if the land has been already put for public use, public purposes such as roads, universities and other infrastructure, hospitals. Then they can revoke your C of O if you breach the conditions attached to your C of O, and then they can also revoke your C of O if the land was obtained fraudulently. So before you make any payment, it is best that you verify if the land has been chartered for government use. So you don't buy a land today and then after a period of years you now get that you now hear that, oh, the government wants to take their land back. So it's best that before you make that payment, do your due diligence, verify the documents, verify the location of the land, chart it so that you know that, so that you will be sure that there are no government encumbrances on that particular land. So the next question I have on my list today is, so if a dispute arises after you've bought land, you still have legal rights. That's why it's very, very important that you keep every single document in the process of getting that property, in the process of purchasing that property, every single document, because you have the right to defend your ownership in court. You have the right to present your title document as evidence. You have the right to seek compensation if someone sold to you fraudulently. Then you have the right to obtain legal representation. So it is very, 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 very important that you keep every document given to you, from the payment receipt, survey plan, title document, every document, because they all serve as evidence purposes. The stronger the documentation, the stronger your case. The Land Use Act provides that state governors hold land in trust for people. It also provides that the government issues a certificate of occupancy not for a full ownership, but you have the right to that land. Then certain lands require governor's consent for you to be able to sell that land, and then the government cannot revoke land for overriding public interests. So for buyers, this means that proper documentation and legal procedures are essential before purchasing land. For Nigeria, whether you are an indigene or not, that does not stop you from buying land. You can buy land in any state for indigenes and non-indigenes. However, some communities may have their customary rules, maybe their traditions regarding family lands. So you always consult a qualified property lawyer when foreign ownership is involved. Always consult a verified property lawyer for that purpose. So if you are an indigene or a non-indigene, you can get properties in any state in Nigeria, as long as the property is verified so that you will not lose your money. But before you do that, I will always say, do your due diligence, verify the property, verify the documents. Very essential. If you are buying from a real estate company or a real estate firm, you don't need to pay extra money when buying land. You just pay for your land, and then every other thing is complimentary. However, when it comes to development, that is very different. But if you're buying from, let's say you're buying from an individual, you'd have to pay for stamp duty, registration fees, governor's consent fee when applicable, survey fee, legal fee. That's when you are buying from an individual. You'd also have to pay for the documentation fee. But if you're buying from a real estate company, you don't have to go through all those stress. You just pay for your land, and then the rest is settled. No hidden fees, no hidden charges. You don't have to go through that stress for all those purposes. So if you're buying from an individual, always ask for a breakdown of the payments so that you would be more informed and you know exactly what you are paying for. Yes, you need building approval before you start any development. So owning land does not automatically give you the permission to build. You'd have to go to the government. You pay development fees, and you also pay to the community when you want to develop your land. So there are also approved building plans in some locations. Let's say you're buying from a real estate company, an estate. The real estate company or the estate managers will give you their building plan, and if that doesn't work for you, there might be some negotiation, but there will be an approved building plan. Then the development or building approval from the appropriate authorities, and then you'd have to comply with local planning regulatory, that's the community members. So building without approval can lead to fines, can lead to demolition or stop work orders. If you buy a land that the government has already set apart for public use, your land is going to be revoked. Yes, and if you're familiar with Port Harcourt, when they were building the flyovers in Port Harcourt, there were some houses that were demolished because they were on the road. Now, those people that bought those properties there, they did not chart the land to know if the government plans to make any development in that area at 10 years, 15 years, 20 years to come. They did not do that. But if they did that, they wouldn't have bought exactly where the government had already set apart for building of roads and flyovers. So if you buy a land that has been acquired for public use, your land is going to be revoked. So depending on the condition, you will get compensated for the value of your land, not the value of the property on the land. You're going to get compensated for the value of the land. This is another reason why it is very essential that you conduct due diligence before you purchase any property. Family land disputes can be risky if all entitled family members have not agreed on a sale. It can be very, very, very risky because you now have to face court cases, multiple ownership claims, delay in taking possession of your land, and then possible cancellation of the transaction. So family land disputes is not something that we would want you to go through. That's why we always tell people that you should buy from a credible real estate company. Yes, so that you don't have to go through the whole stress, because if one person in the family says the person doesn't want to sell, it will cause a dispute. And then let's say you have paid some certain amount of money to that family, and some persons might not want to release your money back. They might not want to refund you, meaning you have lost that money. So family land disputes can affect buyers. So always confirm from the recognized family members, people that are the head of the family. So always confirm with them, verify the original owner of the land, and then the documents, like I always say, due diligence. The answer to this question is yes. Inherited land is transferred from one person to the next person, either after death or just given to the person. So most of the time it's after the real owner's death. That's how the next of kin would inherit the land. However, land that is bought outright is transferred through a sale agreement, and supporting legal documents are given to the person. So inherited land may require probate, letter of administration, family consent where applicable. Before buying inherited land, always verify that the sellers have the legal authority to transfer ownership. The final question I have on my list today: to minimize future disputes, I would say step 1, you conduct proper land search. I cannot stop emphasizing on proper due diligence. It is very, very important. And then the next step is to use a qualified lawyer. The third step is to verify the ownership thoroughly. The fourth step is to execute a properly drafted deed of assignment or deed of conveyance. Then you obtain a governor's consent where applicable, and then once you've done all that, you register all your documents. Then ensure that family representatives sign where the family land is involved, and then you keep copies of every payment receipt and document. It's very essential, because the more documents you have, the stronger your case will be. Proper documentation can save you a lot of legal stress years to come. Legal issues may seem complicated, but they are often the difference between a safe investment and a costly mistake. So remember that buying land is not just about getting or finding a good location. It is about buying legally, safely, and intelligently. If you found this episode helpful, like this video, subscribe to this YouTube channel, turn on the notification bell, and then if you know someone who would be interested in this topic, share this video to that person so that the person will also have the same information that you have. So if you have more land related questions, don't forget to type it in the comment section of this video, and in the next episode we are going to answer those questions. Until next time, buy wisely, verify everything, and I'm still your host, Sharon Ibinabo. See you on the next episode of Real Estate IQ.